Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be covering the pericardium. This is the layer that wraps around the heart. Um, you're going to see in this video how many layers there actually are. But first, if you have the textbook, let's actually start down here first. So, because of the border that's around the heart, we actually want to be able to differentiate between all of them. So go ahead and draw this in right there. We're going to have a superior border and an inferior border. The superior border, we have what's called our great vessels. That's going to be like our superior vena cava, or our pulmonary trunk, or our aorta. That's where the great vessels start, or they come out of. In that inferior border, we have that diaphragmatic surface. That's where we're going to run into that diaphragm right there. On the right border, there's nothing really. On this left border, just if we look down where the inferior and the left border come together, we have what's called the apex. Pretty simple, right? So let's just go through the numbers and make sure that we cover everything. So number one, just in general, we have our heart. Okay. Number two, you can see that they've put the diaphragm in here, and you can see that muscle. 3 is going to be that superior vena cava. 4, the aorta or the aortic arch. Number 5 is going to be that pulmonary trunk. Um, the superior vena cava, just to remind you, that's where we're getting blood coming from um, all the veins that are either coming from the arms or from the head. All of them will drain into the superior vena cava, and that's the start of that blood flow. Um, Number 4, that aorta, we've talked about it. This is going to be your brachiocephalic artery. This is going to be your left common carotid, and then left subclavian before it dives down in and heads down towards your abdomen. Your pulmonary trunk, this is where you're going to have deoxygenated blood in your pulmonary artery, and it's, well, from pulmonary trunk to your pulmonary arteries, and these are coming out into the lungs, sending the blood out to where they can get oxygen and then be pumped back into the heart before it distributes again. 6 is going to be our phrenic nerves. These are going to be on the outside. In this picture, you'll see right here. Number 7, 8, and 9 are all included in what we call 11, which is the pericardial sac. So, number 7, that is going to be the innermost layer right here that's touching with the heart. 8 is going to be the next layer, and 10 is that outer layer. So 7 is the visceral layer of the serous pericardium. And if you remember with our lungs, if you watch that video, you're going to have the visceral pleura, which is the layer that's just right outside of the organ, right? So we get this visceral layer, and then just like we did with the lungs, we have this like uh, pleural cavity. But in the heart with the pericardium, we've got visceral layer, then we've got this pericardial cavity, and then this is the parietal layer of the serous pericardium. And then number 10, that is going to be your fibrous pericardium, or parietal pleura is another name for it. But 7, 8, 9, and 10, um, well, 7, 8, 9 make up the pericardial sac, and then that's all wrapped by 10. A couple other things that you'll want to know is these are your coronary arteries. They supply blood to the heart. These are, like I said, they are arteries. and they are coming from the aorta, the ascending aorta. So you can see on the right side it comes right out, but on this left side it's crazy because it'll come from behind the pulmonary trunk and connect into that ascending aorta right there. That's where that comes out. And then it distributes the blood to the outside of the heart. 10, we see this thicker layer that is connecting from the heart to the diaphragm. Another name that you'll hear it by is your central tendon. Here's our apex, kind of like we showed down here. But that's it for this video. Hopefully that clarifies it. I know I was so confused when I saw this picture for the first time, but actually seeing it colored in definitely helps distinguish the layers. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. We'll see you later. All right, I just want to give credit where credit is due. These are the books and the resources I used for the videos. So first we have Essentials of Human Anatomy by Dr. Kurt Walker. We then have Essential Clinical Anatomy by Keith L. Moore and M.R. Auger and Arthur F. Daly. I also used Structure and Function of the Human Body by Mark Nielsen and Jamie Garbett. The last book I have is The Concise Book of Trigger Points by Simon Neil Asher. And then I used the app called Complete Anatomy. As you've seen from the videos, it's amazing. If you can afford it, I suggest it. It's such a useful tool when learning this stuff. So that's it. Have a good day.